as of 16 minutes ago, the Miami Dolphins have officially placed left tackle Teron Armstead on the reserve retired list.
Gives me an opportunity to revisit my Liam Eichenberg tape if you're interested.
Oh, goodness gracious, Hawk, I heard this.
No, but I didn't say that he's a Pro Bowler. All I said was the way people complain about Liam Eichenberg is unfounded.
Hawk, every time there's a breakdown, he's a part of it.
Nah. You remember Mark Colombo?
Yes, he was terrible.
That's right. Liam Eichenberg is not Mark Colombo.
Liam Eichenberg is in the middle of a lot of bad plays.
That was my only point.
So
he's not Mark Colombo.
So he's a C minus.
He's a C.
Mark Colombo was an F. We remember
Correct.
that. Mark Colombo's
Correct.
knees didn't work. Liam Eichenberg is a D plus C minus.
He's a C. He's out there. He's taking up space. Sometimes he's getting pushed into the quarterback. Sometimes he's not, but he's out there.
Tua's always in trouble.
I want to talk about Tua. It's the thing I want to talk about, but let's finish headlines. I'll do it in the next segment because if
I'm going into a game as the quarterback, I do not want Liam at any position because it's putting my life on the line.
I don't know. He's been doing it a while. No, he's been doing it a while, and you can't fool every personnel guy, every coach, every position coach, year after year after year. Isn't Cam Smith the perfect example? Like, you don't get on the field if you're not good enough. Period. End of story. Michael Agnew. You don't can't continuously fool people over and over and over. And Liam Eichenberg is out there season after season after season. So what does that suggest to you? That every coach, every position coach, every personnel person is fooled every season?
No, that he has been on no other teams other than the Dolphins. He's fooled Chris Greer, and he's good enough because they're not drafting anybody better than him. If they could bring in anyone, he is not going to play. If they have what's the boy? They just drafted some fat boy in the third, fourth round. I don't even remember his name. If he can play, Liam Eichenberg's not going to. They've been trying to replace Liam for years.
I'm not disagreeing with that. My point is, Mark Colombo was so bad, it was got to get him out of here. He can't play.
Got to go.
And that's the way people talk about Liam Eichenberg, and it's just not the truth.
He didn't fool Chris Greer. Chris Greer needs Liam Eichenberg to work because he took him in the second round.
How many seasons has he played? 4 or 5?
This will be his 4th season. He was drafted in 2021.
I mean, he got out of him what he needed to get. Like, I don't think that Chris Greer's attached to him at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a second round whiff. The Michael Agnew thing was such a story because it was a 3rd round whiff, right? I mean, they drafted him in the 3rd round. He never touched the field. Like, Liam Eichenberg, like, whatever. Been out there for 3 seasons.
You know what? I see both sides. Liam is not. What's the D end out of Oregon? Jordan.
Deion Jordan.
Deion Jordan was terrible. Liam Eichenberg, Jordan. Deion Jordan should not have been drafted. You know, Michael Agnew should not have even been on anybody's list. I feel what you're saying, Hawk.
That's all I'm saying about Liam Eichenberg. That's all I'm saying. He's not a Pro Bowler. He can play in the league. He's become a whipping boy for Dolphins fans, and to me, it's just misplaced.
But it's every time Tua gets hit, Liam is looking at him. You should be looking the other way. You should be looking at the defense. You shouldn't be looking back at the quarterback.
Fair.
When you say he can play in the league, like what like that's the standard? I genuinely, I'm asking.
No. But again, you're misplacing the argument. I'm not saying is he good? Should he be starting? I'm saying the amount of heat that he gets is unwarranted because we've seen a bad offensive lineman before. It was Mark Colombo, gone out of here. Guy's ridiculous. And that's just not the case with Liam Eichenberg. Are you asking, should he be better? Would they be better off if they had a better Liam Eichenberg? Of course. That's not up for debate.
They tried him at tackle. He was awful. They moved him to center because the Dolphins needed a center. He was terrible at center, literally one of the worst centers in the NFL in
But
a
that's
short
a
sample
difficult
size.
position.
Okay, but you were drafted with the second round pick. Like, and then they
What?
moved him to guard. And Hawk, I read you the numbers the other day. Statistically, one of the worst guards
No,
in the
that's
NFL.
not true. You read some very good numbers too.
I'll go back. He's no Vernon Carey. He's no Richmond Webb. He's no
Right.
Dwight Stevenson. He's no Larry Little. We can go far back as that. We could stay. He's no Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt was a Pro Bowl. Robert Hunt could run circles around him at guard. He's not that. Can he
I just
be
asked,
a
I
place
just asked
guy?
AI. I just typed it into AI. Is Liam Eichenberg good? Here's the AI overview. Liam Eichenberg is a Miami Dolphins offensive lineman who has been praised for his versatility and team-first attitude, but his on-field performance has been a mixed bag, with some sources rating him as adequate or okay rather than good. That's all I'm saying, by the way. That's all I'm saying. Dolphins Nation makes him out to be the biggest bust in draft history. And all I'm saying is it's a little overdone at this point with Liam Eichenberg.
Cam Smith is more of an embarrassment. Jason Allen.
I think so. Can't get on the field.
Oh, man. Deion Jordan is way more of an embarrassment to him.
Deion Jordan was
what
a top
Austin
10 pick, and
Jackson,
they
what
traded up
Austin Jackson is doing as a first rounder is almost just as embarrassing as what Liam Eichenberg is doing as a second rounder. Honestly, yes.
Stop, man.
I'm a left tackle. Oh no, we'll move you to right tackle. Okay, we'll try a left tackle again. Okay, that's in Liam Eichenberg and Austin Jackson are on the same page. They're C players. They're C players.
That's all I'm saying.
Austin Jackson was a really good right tackle. It took him some time to get there. Don't get me wrong, Crowder. But for the past 2 years, Austin Jackson, you could argue, has been the most reliable outside of the two centers that Miami has had, Aaron Brewer, and I'm forgetting the guy's name.
Connor Williams.
Yeah. Outside of those two, Austin Jackson's been the most reliable player on the line for the Dolphins the past 2 years until he got hurt this year because Teron Armstead was missing so many games. Liam Eichenberg is only out there because Chris Grier. You're saying, Hawk, he's on the team. He's on the team. He's getting playing time. The only reason he's getting playing time is because Chris Grier and the Dolphins refuse to acknowledge that the offensive line desperately needs new players.
But again, what you're saying is, though, they do have backups, right? They have backups for the offensive line.
No, he is the backup for the offensive line, and he's
still
being forced to play.
But you understand what I'm saying. They still have him out there playing. Brian Flores was given roster players that Chris Grier wanted out there, and Brian Flores said no. Tua. He did it with Tua. Again, it becomes like I'm making this defense that Liam Eichenberg is an all-pro lineman, and it's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is the way Dolphins fans talk about him, we've seen busts here before. That dude's not on that list. He's not.
I get what you're saying. He's not the reason the Dolphins are losing.
No.
That's what a lot of fans make it sound like.
He's not the reason.
Liam Eichenberg's back. 10 wins, 5 wins.
Yeah.
That's why they drafted Jonah, the Samoan name. I'm terrible with him.
Yeah.
Savananga. If he can play,
careful.
Do I have to drop that?
Liam,
I don't know. You might.
Laying the Neganaya. If he can play,
again.
Liam's not.
He a fan.
Savananga. I left the G's out. If he can play, Liam Eichenberg's not going to play. So they're trying.
Correct.
But he would have been cut. I can see, Solana, to Hawk's point too. And I don't, me, I've used Liam Eichenberg as a punchline for years now.
I've used him too. And there are times during games where you're going to go, oh my God, that guy's the worst. I'm with that.
I thought he was blind one game a couple years ago. I was like, do you see this big ass dude sitting here in front of you? Why don't you touch him? But I would put Liam's starting games. I'd put that back on Chris Grier because you should have found a replacement for him a long time ago.
Somebody texts in, Hoch is slightly changing my poor opinion of Liam Eichenberg. If I can change one Dolphins fan's opinion, my job here is done.
Get you a jersey.
Well, I don't know
how
about
many
that.
Eichenbergs have been sold?
Well, I guess, do they make the players buy their own jerseys? Because 2 at least, road and home.
What? I don't even know his number. What is it, 77? I don't know his number.
74, I think.
74.
74.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you'll know it on game 1. When 2 was in his favorite position.
Go get him, big man.
Here's the Dolphins news that I wanted to get to that does not involve Hawk's favorite player, Liam Eichenberg.
See, he reversed Tua me. The way what we've done with Tua to him, I got reversed Tua.
Drew Rosenhaus was on WSVN 7. He does that hit weekly on Sunday nights with Josh Moser. And obviously, Jonnu Smith was brought up. Crowder, while you were gone, I'm sure you saw Dolphins were in contact with the Steelers about a potential Jonnu Smith trade because, according to reports, Jonnu Smith told the Dolphins, I want more money.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what Drew Rosenhaus said. Quote, here's what I'll say on behalf of my client. He is Jonnu's agent. Jonnu would definitely like to stay in Miami. That's his first choice. This is where he lives in the offseason. He had a record-breaking season last year. It was the best season ever for a Dolphins tight end. He broke the team record. We know what he did. He goes on to list all those things, and he's an incredibly valuable part of this team. He went to college at FIU. His dream team is the Dolphins. So those were his comments regarding his client.
All right.
32nd highest paid tight end in the league, and he was a Pro Bowler. That's unacceptable. I'm with Jonnu on this. I haven't talked to him, but I know Jonnu. He needs more money. Pay him.
The only problem is, as I was saying to Solana last week, the only problem is the Dolphins are in trouble because they just kept reworking contracts for anyone who wanted one. And I think that they have reached a point where they're saying, yeah, we're not doing that anymore because we're in trouble because of doing that. So I'm not saying he's not worthy of it because, as we said last week, he was really, and we love Jonnu Smith. Certainly Solana loves him. He had probably the best offensive season on the team. So he certainly warrants more money. The problem is, are they going to keep operating in this fashion, which is, okay, you need more money, we'll give you more money, and then we get to the end of Christian Wilkins' contract and we've got no money for him, or we get to the end of who's the guy that went to Minnesota? Or Javon Holland.
Yeah,
Andrew Van Ginkel, and it's like, well, we gave your money to Jalen Waddle. Sorry.
And this is a Chris Grier problem again. I'm not just piling on Chris Grier. He became Tua's go-to guy for a number of games. You pay Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle was getting 3 targets a game, catching 1. Then Jonnu becomes Tua's favorite target over the middle. He's big. He can run. They're running damn screens and reverses with him. What are you in lockstep with your coaching staff and your GM to who is the most important part of this whole thing?
Guess what I just ordered.
Hawk, don't wear that shirt.
Guess what I just ordered.
Hawk, don't wear that shirt. Me and you are going to wrestle.
I'm getting 74. Liam Eichenberg shirts for the entire show.
I'm fine.
You get an Eichenberg. You get an Eichenberg. You get an Eichenberg. Anyone gets an Eichenberg. No, I'm ordering this. I'm doubling down, baby.
You've heard of the Mervis Militia?
Get you.
Welcome to the show that owns the Eichenbros.
We're the Eichenbros. We're the Eichenbros.
We're not the Eichenbros. We're not.
We are the Eichenbros.
I'm out. I'm out.
You can't be out. You can only get beaten out of the Eichenbros.
By who, Jimmy?
Listen, you don't want to. You don't want to take on the Eichenbros.
I'll take a couple of stuttering jabs.
You about to be. That's a great name. We're the Eichenbros. That's a great name.
Well, when you say we, so here
the 4 of us,
the Eichenbros.
You can only see your ass. No, all 4 of us are the Eichenbros.
We're not the Eichenbros.
Yeah, we're the Eichenbros.
I don't want to be in it.
You're in. It's too late.
It's not too late. You have to.
I already ordered the shirt.
I
ordered the shirt.
Oh,
it's
the
too
Crips
late.
and the Bloods don't just make you a Crip or Blood. You have
Sure
to
they
do
do.
something to get in.
No,
I
they
don't want
say-
to.
they-
We got to do
yeah.
anything.
Yep.
No,
I'm
out.
We're in the yard right now, and if you're not getting protection from the Eichenbros, you're on the Eichen outs. You don't want to be. You don't want to be sent down to the laundry and see the Eichenbros. Andy Dufresne will tell you all about it.
Don't send me to the laundry with Andy Dufresne. I saw what happened to him.